Hey, what's going on everybody? Welcome back to another video, and I am super excited today because Red just announced their brand new camera and the introduction camera to their new line of cameras for the DSMC3. Hate saying that acronym. So moments ago, they just tweeted about the V-Raptor ST, their brand new flagship camera. And if you check out this video they just posted to their Twitter account, kind of showing off the body style, we can see that it is mimicked very much like the Komodo, and this is a limited edition white version, so I'm sure this will be a short low stock supply, and then it'll be replaced with something that's black or carbon fiber like the existing line of cameras. This thing just looks awesome. If we head over to their website, we can see the actual product page. And obviously we can see that it is a $24,000 camera. So who is this for? Well, definitely not your run-of-the-mill budget cinema camera type people like myself. But if you're not new to Red, then you know that this is kind of just in the middle of their existing line of cameras. They have everything from the Red Komodo around $6,000 all the way up to their Red Ranger around $60,000. So 24 is actually a pretty good deal for Red. Now what's smart is they actually have on the final picture a comparison in size to the Komodo, so you can see that it is a little bit bigger, but not too much. It definitely still looks like a smaller form factor and package compared to their previous cameras or something like the Ranger, which looks pretty huge. Now first let's talk about the body design, and again it is mimicked just like the Komodo and it shares some of the similar features but definitely has some differences. The things that it shares with the Komodo is that, again, smaller form factor. It also has the same RF to EF lens mount, which is kind of interesting. I kind of expected at a $24,000 price point they would have a PL option at least, but I'm guessing that they are going to come out with a secondary camera or just continue to add to the new line, and they'll have a bigger PL version for the even more professional people. It also shares a similar 2.4 inch screen on the side, but this is not for any video previews. This is only for information. If we hop over to 𝗬𝗪𝗏, the founder of Red, his Instagram, a couple days ago, he tweeted this teaser, which we can see the screen actually on, and it's very nice, bright colored display here, but there's no live preview like the Komodo. But we can see some interesting tech specs on here, like the 8K120, which we're gonna get to in a couple minutes that I'm super excited. And then if you haven't followed him already, you should definitely go and check him out because he's posting a bunch of content about the new Raptor, including this moments ago stock supply that they currently have of Raptors, and that's a very expensive shelf, and I would like to be standing next to it. Now going back to the product page here, we start to get into the differences from the Komodo as well as their other line of cameras. The first thing that I'm super excited about is this thing is littered with quarter 20s. Like, never mind cages, you have more quarter 20s on this thing than like any cage I've seen. Just on the front here, you have 10 quarter 20s that you can mount like anything to, and then you have 4 more on each front side and then like another dozen on top. It's crazy. This thing is fully made of metal just like their other cameras, so you're not gonna have any issues mounting stuff to it. We can also see the similar 2 record buttons, one on the front left and on the back right. That's pretty similar. On the left hand side we see the media bay door. Now this doesn't use the mini mags, and it also doesn't use the CFast cards like the Komodo. This I was a little sad to see, but it is using a new CF Express partnered with Angelbird. I don't know if it has to do with like data rates, and CFast 2.0 just isn't fast enough, and so they had to go CF Express. But it is kind of disappointing because the Raptor and the Komodo would be such a good A/B camera combination, but the fact that you'd have to buy completely separate media for the two is a little disappointing, especially at the price points in which they cost. For $1,000 you can get 660 gigs, and for 1.3 terabytes it's going to cost you $2,000. Kind of weird storage capacities there, but you have that. Couple other accessories that are brand new here: new CF Express card reader. Also the V-mount, in the back of the camera is now a integrated V-mount battery plate, which is really nice to see. It used to be you had to buy like the $24,000 brain and then like another 10 grand worth of accessories just to have a working camera, but now this is more in line with traditional other cameras where you buy the body and then all you need to do to like at least get a starter pack going is a lens, media, and a battery, and you're good to go. And that's what you have here. You have your battery plate and all your audio and monitoring ports integrated. You no longer have to buy a really expensive backplate for that. So they have a new micro V-Lock battery, which looks really nice and small and actually priced pretty comparable to other batteries on the market. Definitely cinema cameras are getting smaller, and so the battery packs, it's nice to see those getting smaller as well. A new dual charger for that, a red wing, and then finally we have a brand new 7-inch monitor, which I know a lot of people have been asking for a new updated red monitor. Well, here you go. For almost $3,000 you get the fancy new 7-inch monitor that they actually partnered with SmallHD to produce. I always liked red monitors because they use kind of a smart connector. So rather than having to run a long cable from the monitor to wherever the SDI or HDMI port on the camera is, now you can just attach it to the top of the camera, that little smart connector, and you don't have cables hanging everywhere. It does have a small cable. I'm guessing it's detachable. So if you wanted to get the longer cable and have the monitor off camera somewhere, you could still do that. But yeah, some key specs for the monitor: it's 1300 nits brightness, 1920 by 1200, 60 hertz, and 10-bit. Your normal, very good monitors. Not the highest tech specs I've seen, especially at the price point, but definitely good enough. Now let's get back to the camera itself here. Talking about hardware for another minute. Now, another nice difference from the Komodo is the fact that you have 2 SDI ports. And so not only could you get the 7-inch monitor to go on the smart connector on top, but you can also output to, multiple wireless transmitters or connect to multiple monitors and still be good to go. Rather than on the Komodo, you just have the one SDI port, which if you have your on-camera monitor, now it's taken up. You also have a USB Type-C port, which you can use for using the Red app on a mobile device. You can either use it wirelessly with the built-in wireless transmitter or plugged in via USB Type-C. You have a 5-pin audio jack. Personally, I've never used one of these, so I don't know if it's better than like a mini XLR type setup, but I really love the mini XLRs on my Blackmagic. So I don't know, any audio engineers, let me know down in the comments below if a 5-pin audio port is better. And of course, you got your headphone jack and your power port if you want to plug in directly. So now that we've covered basically the exterior of the camera, let's talk about what it can actually shoot. And I want to say that, again, I haven't seen any footage myself. At the time of this recording, this camera literally was just launched moments ago. So if while editing this video or publishing it, I see any footage pop up anywhere that's red showing off, I'll definitely leave it linked down in the comments below. I'll pin the comment or put it in the description. So check down there watching this video or after this video to see if there's been any sample footage posted, because I'm definitely excited, and here is why. Let's go down. So you have a large format 8K sensor. It also has a 6K Super 35 mode that you can shoot in, so really healthy large sensor. And then the best spec of all in my eyes, 17 plus stops of dynamic range. That's just crazy awesome. I used to be like many other amateur filmmakers who think resolution is everything, but let me tell you, after using cameras that have high dynamic range like this, I'd much rather take a 2K or even 1080p camera that shot 17 stops of dynamic range over an 8K or 12K camera that had like 13. Dynamic range is so good. And then we get into the frame rates. This is really impressive. So at the full sensor resolution of 8K, you can get up to 120 FPS. And if you go all the way down to 2K, 2 to 4 to 1, you can get up to 600 FPS. That is like, I mean, I remember just a couple weeks ago playing with my Ursa Mini Pro 12K, and that would shoot at a Super 16 cropped 4K at 240 FPS. And that was like super slow, looked super good. I can only imagine what looks to be a no crop 2K 600 FPS. It's a low resolution 2K 2048 by 864, but even if you went 2048 by 1080, you can still get up to 480 frames per second. That is just awesome, and I cannot wait to see some sample footage of that, because now this all-around really solid camera that can do everything from the normal, 24 FPS dialogue type scenes can now start doing some really incredible high frame rate stuff. And then it looks like it's using the same red code compressions that's similar to the Komodo. You got the HQ, the MQ, LQ at 8K, and then different variations on that. Hopefully you can see it on the screen here. And so for the same reason that I love B-RAW and other cinema cameras, no matter what crazy frame rates or resolutions you're shooting in, you're always going to be using that really nice raw codec, so it makes everything match and just look really nice in post. And so far that seems like it's pretty much it for now. If I find any sample footage anywhere of this, I will leave it linked down in the description below. Feel free to ask me questions in the comments, and as I dig deeper into this camera, I will try to answer any questions you might have. And Red or Jared, if you're listening to this, watching this, I would happily and really love to get my hands on this for even like a day. So, hit me up, please. Other than that, I just want to say thanks to everyone watching this video right now. If you want more content, if you're new around here, don't forget to get subscribed, like this video, it helps me out a ton, and I'll see you all in the next video.